Hello YouTubers, I'm back with the finishing half of my advanced stamping nail art tutorial. I got that right. I started off yesterday by showing you how to stamp out with this pretty little stamping plate. I used a couple of different times to try to get it completely right. This was one that I wanted to show you at how nicely the decals come off, even with one layer. This is so pretty, and you can put this even over like a simple color as long as you are careful with it, and it'll stay and it'll look beautiful. So what I decided to do is finish this up for you today. I was gonna keep it simple. Unfortunately, I decided I had to do a water marble and a gradient for my accent nails. I'll show you how pretty the thumb came out. It started off matte, but I decided to go with a glossy top coat, and I might put a matte on toward the end if I can find my matte top coat and see how pretty that looks in matte. All right, so what I'm going to first start out is showing you how beautiful and easy this reverse stamping comes out. So I did my reverse stamp and I was painting it in just like I showed you in the last video. I took unfortunately some bad colors to do kind of an ombre effect over the back of it. Of course you have to wait in between, and I also put a clear coat over in between to protect your design. So unfortunately, hindsight's 2020, I used this Wet n Wild green because I thought it'd be a beautiful gradient for the Sally Hansen green and kind of more what I thought would be a cream colored lime. And unfortunately these two colors came out really see-through, so it was harder to get kind of an ombre design. I had to build up a lot. It took me a long time. But as you can see, it came out really nicely in the end over a white top coat, base coat rather. So in the end, we ended up saving it. So I'm just going to use my little trusty knife here to kind of dig underneath the edges. And I'm just going to push down on this silicone mat and kind of, I don't know if you guys can see that, kind of rock side to side to kind of help the polish up. Here we go. And I want to make sure the edges are coming up too. So I'll kind of rock it side to side. And this mat is so easy, and I've said 100 times in my videos, I'm sure, that it's a dollar store item. It's a cutting board. All right, so now we are going to flip it over. Oh, this is so pretty. Look at how nicely that came out, guys. It looks kind of like stained glass right now. So I'm going to show you how to place on your nail. So I've got my not fancy pair of scissors here. And I think because this nail is not quite as long as the other ones, I'm still growing in after an awful manicure the last time. This is why I'm going to do my own gels, I've decided. Anyways, moving along. This is kind of brittle. So what I'd like to do is, sounds weird, is kind of just like play with it in my fingers for a second and kind of warm it up and let the polish become pliable. Kind of like almost like one of the stickers you get from Sally Hansen, but we're doing it our way. So you can see, if you can get up close, that it didn't come out perfect, but I kind of like that. All right, so I'm going to cut this out in a basic idea of where I want my stamping to be on my nail. This is the prettiest angle, so I'm going to cut on this angle. Sorry, guys. Kind of roughly square out where you think your nail is going to be. I'm going to turn this into the end of the nail. All right, so we have our little decal kind of cut out a little bit. What I'm going to do over the top of our white polish is get a quick dry top coat. This one actually is in an Insta-Dry bottle just because I really like how thick the brush is, but I think it's some China Glaze or Sinful Colors top coat mixed in a little bit. So just going to, do a little bit of the clear coat, and then immediately I want to come in and place our decal. Now, just keeping in mind, once it's on your nail, you have to be very ginger and gentle with it. Use your finger to kind of gently smooth it around your nails and gently press down on the corners to kind of get it to adhere and almost melt to that wet polish underneath. But really be gentle, guys, okay? Really be super gentle with your design. Sometimes I kind of grasp the edge. My nail has a very heavy C curve, not so much on this finger, but so sometimes it's hard to get it to stay to the edge. So I just kind of wrap my fingers around and try not to crease that polish. You're gonna get some creasing, to be perfectly honest, but, sorry, I'm just adjusting here, guys. But because we're gonna put a really thick top coat on it, it's not gonna be a big deal. So next we're going to pick up, this is just a really nice brush that I got from the Essence of Beauty shop. It kind of has an easy, like really sharp tip. That's what I'm looking for. And it's easy to get around the edges. So I'm just going to put some acetone on this brush, and I'm going to just kind of like press the edges lightly down with this acetone, because obviously we're just trying to adhere this decal to the polish underneath. I'm going to come around this side and do the same thing. We're just going to kind of wet around the cuticle line, and then we're going to come out to the tip. And don't be afraid to use some acetone, because it really helps it stick, and if you're gentle, it's not going to really bother your design. I'm showing you this whole long grueling process I go through because everything you see from me is in real time. So it'll kind of get you the idea of, yes, this is really pretty and it's really easy and anybody can do it, but it is time consuming. Okay, people, it is very time consuming. All right, so I got this really nice little slant on the other side of my brush, and I'm going to come around the edges and kind of just nip around the cuticle line and gently scrape away. Now, I'm sorry, I'm using my left hand right now for all this design, so you're getting all of my flops and angle problems. I just kind of pressed slowly and let itself kind of pull away from my cuticle. We're going to do the same for this one. Pull around the side. And then underneath the edge here, you'll see it's easier to take off this little extra flap with a nail file. So I just gently press it around. We're trying to get it stuck. So I'm going to kind of file up, pressing in all these corners. So when you have this, you can come around the underside. Again, I use my knife. I'm so sorry you guys can't see this. It's like another fail. Kind of cut around the edges and pull that off. We didn't really get the front. Here we go. All right, so immediately after that, I'm going to continue to make sure my cuticle line is very even and smooth. It doesn't have to be totally perfect at this point. Brush, brush. All right, and a very nice thick top coat. Try not to press in with this top coat because it'll probably smear if you are using a top coat. Seal the edges on this. And look at how fabulous that design came out. I am totally in love. Now really quickly, I'm going to show you what I am going to do with our stamping plate. Let me just get you turned here. I'm going to take my LA Colors black, rather, and I'm going to pick this really pretty leafy design. You can use quite a bit of polish. I like to because it kind of saves me that extra step. So I don't know if you guys can see this very well. Pull off all that little extra with my hard stamper, pick it up, and then I find a nice clear spot and roll it on my water marble. Oh, that came out so pretty. See how nicely that looks? I'm going to clean this up really quick. Again, with some acetone. Gently along the cuticle. Now if you see any extras that are kind of sticking up, I don't know if you can see that, just gently press it down with your finger to kind of get it sealed and finish this beautiful stamping job off with a very gentle top coat. Like the gentlest soothing touch you ever had. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and you can always subscribe to my channel to see all the fun things I come up with. Check me out on my Facebook page, NailWitch87, if you want to see pictures of this finished design. Also check out my girl Fran at the Essence of Beauty shop. She's who I got most of my amazing nail stuff from. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again soon.